How often do you feel like you're standing at the edge of your own spiritual potential, but something keeps you from stepping into the deeper truths of your being? What if the very thing that is holding you back from your true spiritual growth is not something external, but something within you? We spend our lives seeking enlightenment, connection, and peace, but many of us are unknowingly blocking our own progress. The truth is, spiritual growth is not just about seeking new experiences or external teachings. It's about removing the inner obstacles that keep us from living in alignment with our higher selves. The challenge is that many of these obstacles are invisible, hidden deep within our subconscious minds, and they often manifest in ways we don't recognize. Sometimes, we are the ones standing in the way of our own growth. In this video, we will uncover 7 signs that indicate you may be blocking your spiritual growth. These signs may be subtle, but once you begin to recognize them, you can break free from the patterns that hold you back. This is not just about spiritual awakening, it's about breaking through the unconscious patterns and fears that prevent you from stepping fully into your truth. Sign 1. Emotional resistance. The fear of feeling. Have you ever noticed how you often avoid certain emotions? Sadness, fear because they seem too overwhelming or uncomfortable. We live in a world that teaches us to push down uncomfortable feelings, to stay positive, to avoid emotional discomfort at all costs. But what if I told you that avoiding your emotions is one of the biggest blocks to your spiritual growth? Emotions are not just random feelings that appear and disappear. They are deeply connected to your soul's journey. Every emotion you experience carries a message, a lesson, and a part of your truth. However, when we resist these emotions, when we suppress them or try to bury them deep within ourselves, we block the flow of spiritual energy. Instead of processing the emotions and allowing them to pass, we become emotionally stagnant. The energy gets stuck, preventing us from moving forward on our spiritual path. Spiritual growth requires us to feel all of it. It requires us to sit with the discomfort, to allow ourselves to be vulnerable in the face of pain and uncertainty. When we resist feeling, we build walls between ourselves and the truth of who we are. Those walls keep us from fully experiencing the depth of our being and prevent us from connecting with the flow of life that is trying to move through us. To unblock your spiritual growth, you must start embracing your emotions. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. Feel the sadness when it arises. Feel the fear and allow it to guide you to your deeper truths. Don't be afraid of the darkness. The very emotions you fear contain the light you are searching for. They are your teachers, your guides, showing you where healing is needed. Stop resisting and start allowing yourself to experience life as it comes, because in the feeling, the growth happens. Sign 2, fear of change. The resistance to transformation change is one of the few constants in life. Yet, how often do we resist it? We cling to the familiar, to what is safi, because change feels like a threat to our sense of control. But what if the very thing you fear changes the key to unlocking your spiritual growth? The truth is, spiritual growth requires transformation, and transformation cannot happen without change. We are often conditioned to resist change because it brings uncertainty, discomfort, and vulnerability. But what we don't realize is that the resistance to change is a barrier we put up to protect ourselves from facing the unknown, from confronting our deepest fears. In doing so, we trap ourselves in stagnant patterns that prevent us from evolving. Fear of change keeps us stuck in our comfort zones. Even if those zones are limiting or painful, we fear letting go of old identities, old ways of thinking, and old habits. But the irony is that true growth requires stepping into the unknown. If you continue to hold on to what is familiar, you will never experience the new possibilities that life is offering you. The path to spiritual awakening is not a straight line, it's a journey of continual reinvention, of letting go of the old to make room for the new. To unblock your spiritual growth, you must embrace the unknown. Instead of resisting change, start welcoming it as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Trust in the process, knowing that the discomfort of change is temporary and that the reward is the opening of your true potential. Change is not your enemy. It is the catalyst for your evolution. Every time you step into the unknown, you move closer to the person you are meant to become. If this video resonates with you and you're ready to start your journey of spiritual transformation, don't forget to like and subscribe to continue receiving empowering content on how to unlock your full potential. Sign 3. Over-attachment to material things. The illusion of fulfillment in our force-based, achievement-oriented world. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of material success. We accumulate possessions, seek external validation, and measure our worth by the things we own or the status we attain. But what happens when we place too much value on the material world? How does our attachment to external things block our spiritual growth? The truth is, material attachment creates an illusion of fulfillment. We think that the next purchase, the next promotion, or the next thing will finally bring us the peace, the happiness, and the satisfaction we crave. But as we've all experienced, these fleeting moments of satisfaction never last. Once we acquire what we think we want, we quickly move on to the next desire, leaving us constantly seeking and never fully satisfied. Spiritual growth requires us to detach from material desires, not to abandon everything, but to recognize that true fulfillment does not come from external possessions. The more we attach our sense of worth to material things, the further we drift from the inner peace that is the foundation of spiritual awakening. Our obsession with what we own or what others think of us keeps us from embracing our authentic self. To unblock your spiritual growth, you must start to shift your focus from material accumulation to inner abundance. Begin to detach from the need for constant validation and external success. Start valuing the intangible things in life: love, connection, and inner peace. True spiritual fulfillment comes when we learn to live from the inside out, when we realize that the only thing we truly need is self-awareness and self-expression. The more we let go of the grip materialism has on us, the more we open ourselves to experiencing the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. If this message resonates with you, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more insights on how to cultivate spiritual growth and live with purpose. Sin 4. Ignoring your inner voice. The power of intuition. We all have an inner voice, that quiet, guiding presence that speaks to us from within. It's the voice that often tells us what feels true, right, or aligned with our authentic self. But how often do we ignore it? In a world that constantly demands external validation, societal norms, and external measures of success, we often silence the very thing that can guide us towards spiritual truth and inner peace. The inner voice, or intuition, is a powerful tool in spiritual growth. It's the connection to the wisdom that resides deep within your soul, beyond the noise of everyday life. Yet, most people ignore or dismiss their intuition because it doesn't come with concrete evidence or logical reasoning. Instead, we are conditioned to trust external sources, others' opinions, societal expectations, and traditional wisdom over our own inner guidance. But the more we ignore this inner wisdom, the more disconnected we become from our true self. Our authentic path becomes harder to discern, and we find ourselves lost, confused, or frustrated. Ignoring your inner voice is one of the biggest blocks to spiritual growth because it prevents you from aligning with your deepest truths and desires. To unblock your spiritual growth, you must begin to trust your intuition. Make space in your life for quiet moments where you can listen deeply to your inner voice. Start paying attention to those gut feelings, those subtle nudges, and the small moments of clarity that arise from within. Trusting your inner wisdom is not about abandoning logic. It's about recognizing that the combination of intuition and reason leads you to true spiritual alignment. Remember, your inner voice is not something external. It is the truth within you, waiting to be heard. As you begin to trust and follow your intuition, you will find yourself moving in alignment with your soul's purpose. Let go of the noise and distractions and start listening to the whispers of your true self. If you're ready to begin trusting your intuition and tapping into the wisdom that lies within, be sure to like and subscribe to stay connected to more transformative insights. Sign 5. Resistance to self-reflection. The barrier to true awareness. How often do you take the time to truly look within and reflect on your own thoughts, actions, and motivations? Self-reflection is an essential practice for spiritual growth, yet many of us avoid it. We're afraid of what we might find. We fear the truths we might have to confront, the emotions we might have to feel, or the shadows of ourselves we've been avoiding. But the truth is, resisting self-reflection is one of the biggest obstacles to your spiritual growth. We often prefer to stay busy or distracted because it's easier than facing our inner world. It's easier to blame external circumstances for our struggles, to focus on what's happening outside of us rather than looking inward. But true spiritual growth doesn't happen by avoiding our inner world. It requires us to engage with it honestly, even if it's uncomfortable. Facing ourselves is the only way we can evolve. When we resist self-reflection, we prevent ourselves from becoming aware of the patterns that hold us back, the fears that limit our potential, and the unhealed wounds that need our attention. Self-reflection is the key to uncovering these blocks and beginning the process of transformation. Without it, we remain stuck in cycles of reactivity, fear, and ignorance. To unblock your spiritual growth, begin by making time for Take a few moments each day to check in with yourself. Ask questions like, why did I react that way? What do I need to learn from this situation? Or what is my heart telling me? This isn't about judging yourself. It's about gaining awareness and taking responsibility for your growth. Through self-reflection, you begin to uncover the truths that lead you toward spiritual awakening and freedom. Self-reflection is a tool that opens the door to spiritual insight. So if you're ready to take responsibility for your growth and align with your true self, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that will help you on your path to transformation. Sign 6. Feeling disconnected from others. The barrier to spiritual connection, spiritual growth, is not meant to be a solitary experience. In fact, our connection to others is an essential part of our spiritual journey. But how often do you feel disconnected from the people around you? Loneliness, isolation, or a sense of detachment can all be signs that you are blocking your spiritual growth. The truth is, our spiritual evolution is deeply intertwined with our relationships and the connections we make with others. When we feel disconnected, it often reflects a deeper disconnection within ourselves. We may be avoiding vulnerability, hiding parts of ourselves, or keeping emotional walls up because we fear being hurt or rejected. But this isolation keeps us from experiencing the fullness of connection with others, with ourselves, and with the divine. The spiritual path requires us to open our hearts not only to ourselves, but to those around us. Disconnection can also arise when we find ourselves stuck in unhealthy relationships or patterns of emotional distancing. We might create emotional barriers as a way to protect ourselves, but in doing so, we block the flow of love, empathy, and spiritual growth. True connection with others allows us to reflect our authentic selves, receive the support and love we need, and grow through the reflections and challenges that arise in relationships. To unblock your spiritual growth, start by opening your heart to others. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Engage in deeper, more meaningful conversations, and let go of the fear of being judged or misunderstood. Compassion and empathy are essential in the spiritual journey. And the more you open yourself to others, the more you open yourself to your own growth. By allowing yourself to connect deeply with those around you, you allow yourself to step into the flow of life and experience its true abundance. If you feel ready to reconnect with your authentic self and experience deeper spiritual connections, make sure to like and subscribe for more transformative content. Sin 7. Holding on to the past, the chain that binds your spiritual growth. The past is a powerful force. It can shape us, guide us, and even haunt us. How often do we find ourselves holding on to old pain, resentment, or regret? The memories of past failures, past mistakes, and past experiences that have left us wounded can often prevent us from moving forward. We carry the weight of the past, and it keeps us from fully embracing the present moment, blocking our spiritual growth. The truth is, holding on to the past is like carrying a heavy chain, binding us to stories and experiences that no longer serve us. These old memories, whether they are painful experiences, regrets, or unresolved emotions, keep us stuck in the same cycles. They shape the way we view the world, ourselves, and others, but they don't define who we are or who we can become. The more we cling to the past, the more we stay anchored to an identity that doesn't reflect our true self. Spiritual growth requires releasing the hold the past has on us. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened, but it means letting go of the emotional charge that keeps us bound to old wounds. Forgiveness of others and ourselves is an essential practice in this process. Without forgiveness, we remain trapped in resentment, and without releasing the past, we prevent the flow of new energy that is necessary for spiritual evolution. To unblock your spiritual growth, you must let go of the past. This process starts with acknowledging the pain, accepting it, and then choosing to release the emotional grip it has on you. It's about forgiving, not to excuse what happened, but to set yourself free. When you free yourself from the past, you allow your spirit to move forward, embracing the present and creating space for new experiences and growth. Letting go of the past is not an easy task, but it is the key to unlocking your spiritual potential. When you release the hold the past has on you, you reclaim your power and your freedom, allowing your true self to emerge and grow. If you resonate with any of the signs we've covered today and you're ready to break free from the barriers holding you back, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more guidance on your journey of spiritual growth and self-discovery.